What's up, guys? I hope you're having a good day today. And when I say guys, that refers to everyone, ladies, everyone watching. So, um, someone said something about that, and no, I'm not trying to be uh, gender discriminatory in any way. That's just what I say. Anyhow, yesterday, Monday, there were conflicting readings on the economic front. The U.S. manufacturing PMI from S&P Global came in at 59.2%, down slightly, higher than a preliminary reading in March. The ISM manufacturing PMI fell to 55.4, missing estimates. So there's a little info from the economic front. Monday, there was a new milestone. The yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note rose about 11 basis points to 2.994% and hit a high of 3.01% during the session. First time since December 3rd, 2018, topping 3%. The 2018 high is 3.25%. The yield on the 30-year Treasury bond jumped more than 9 basis points to 3.044%. Yields moved inversely to prices, and 1 basis point is equal to 0.01%. So keep in mind, today we have the JOLTS report and the FOMC meeting where the Feds are expected to raise 50 basis points. Wednesday we will have the ADP employment report, and Friday the non-farm jobs report. Now, in short, do I still think the market is going in the toilet? If anyone cares for my opinion, yes, I personally do think that. I think there's going to be a message sent out, basically that the Feds have everything under control. The Feds are hawkish. Inflation is suddenly nothing to worry about. For the most part, and May 11th, the CPI report shouldn't be cause for alarm. I'll just say this, as I've said before, we have gas prices affecting companies such as Amazon, supply chain issues disrupting companies such as Amazon, Apple, several other companies. I'm just throwing a couple out there. Inflation is certainly a concern that's continued to worsen. I do expect the report to be alarming, the CPI report to be specific on May 11th. And there just simply hasn't been time to combat inflation. Inflation is a ballooning and domino effect that just continues to worsen, and there just hasn't been time, to combat that issue. As I've said, interest rates continue rising. Americans are struggling, and then we have, due to interest rates rising, the double-edged sword of that. Loans become more expensive. So, these reports this week will essentially tell us where the market is going, right? So we may see some good green later today and Wednesday and Thursday. However, I still expect a red Friday. Take that with a grain of salt. That's just what I foresee. I foreseen a red Monday. It was a weird Monday for sure. I feel like they're keeping the market propped up, and it just isn't where it should be right now. Things that may be oversold in the sense of some things may be oversold in the sense of where they may fundamentally expected to be at. However, if you consider the economic climate we are in, I don't feel that way myself, and I think the CPI report on May 11th will be alarming, and I still think that will likely send stocks in the toilet. That's just my opinion. So my goal is to write up some equities, ride some different stocks up on this wave, especially depending on what information we receive, and ultimately just get in the inverse ETFs cheaper, short some different stocks, targeting companies such as Camber Energy, who got an extension to file. You know, the fact is, companies such as Camber Energy could be delisted. You may want to look a little bit more into that. So, as far as my general market sentiment, you know, that's pretty much all I have. I feel that the market will go in the red Friday, and most likely heading into the week after, it will be red heading into the CPI report. I still feel that a crash is imminent in the near future, and I feel like all the signs have been flashing there. Everything I've been talking about, it's there. So, my personal feelings is that unemployment will likely be higher, and we will very possibly be headed into a period of stagflation. So that's just my preliminary thoughts on the matter. Anyhow, I want to move into some stocks. Earnings are coming up on Lucid. They are expected to be better earnings. I don't know what they're going to be, and I'm not going to pretend to know, but I think Lucid may be a good buy between $17.90 and $18. Or if you want to jump in there a little higher, that's fine. I meant to get this video out yesterday. I didn't get to. But I think you could ride the wave up on Lucid. And quite frankly, I think it's a good long-term investment at around $16, $17. So it's not like, you know, it's one I feel like if, you know, you buy it and it ends up dropping back down, it's not one I'm concerned about. I'll just put it that way. That being said, you know, like I said, that their supply chain issues are worsening due to the China lockdowns, and I don't expect them to get better anytime soon. So something to keep in mind. I don't know if anyone remembers watching my Inspirato video where I was recommending shorting Inspirato, but obviously they were down to like, I don't know, 580, whatever. They're down low. That play has ended up working out really well. So I just want to say this: anyone who wants to jump in late, it's obviously more risky to short Inspirato now, but I think there's a high chance of them falling to $2, like the case was with Redbox, Clover Health. $2 is just, it's a common place where the shorts will beat a company down before they rock it up. So that being said, I think the $10 August calls, and this is not financial advice, but the $10 August calls may be a good call to ride those up to $5, which obviously is $500 a call. By that time, those calls, if Inspirato does get beat down to $2, those calls will be incredibly cheap, obviously. So that's a hell of a profit margin. Some exciting things going on with Indonesia Energy. I think if you can get them between $15.50 to $16, and you may want to exit at $24, and you know, that's about a 50% profit there. So, but exciting things with Indonesia Energy with some new wells. Obviously, any company can fail, right? But really exciting things going on with Indonesia Energy. I do encourage you to do a little research on them. They could blast off higher than $24. You could always sell in brackets, right? You sell 50% at $24. The other 50% you're holding is free anyways. Maybe you want to let it rip to $50, $60. That's up to you. But Indonesia Energy, exciting stuff going on. I think oil is a safety zone in this market and the geopolitical climate we are in. And I think, you know, the situation with Russia and Ukraine is only intensifying. It's not getting any better over there. So, you know, as I said before, there's been a lot of calls in the market suggesting by late 2022 that oil could be $200 a barrel. And I don't doubt it. So that's why I had said previously, I feel like Oil could be $200 a barrel. You catch some dips, some good high profit oil companies, you may want to jump in. Charge point $12.50 to $13. Where you want to exit that one, you know, ultimately, you know, you might want to exit around $16, $17, or you may want to hold longer. Charge point is a good company. Highcroft Mining, $1. I feel like there's a high chance they'll get beat down to $1. Mullen Automotive, $1. I previously thought there would be more support in Mullen Automotive, but obviously there hasn't been. So $1. Where would be a safe exit in this type of market? In my opinion, on Highcroft Mining, $2, and Mullen Automotive, $2. If you want to hold longer, like I said, it's up to you. It's your money. Sundial, 46 cents. Buy-in, exit at 55 cents. Excuse me. Sundial, I had previously said 50 cents because I thought there would be stronger support on Sundial, and there wasn't. They ended up beating it right back down where it was, and I think Sundial, after hitting 55 cents, and it may go higher, who knows, but it has a strong chance of, in the near future, getting beat back down to 40 cents, and ultimately, when the market crashes, I think they'll hit 25 cents. So that's just a warning, because Sundial is a popular stock. Tilray, same thing. I thought they would have a bit stronger support. They didn't. I think so I'm addressing that one. You know, you jump in at 490, whatever you can get in at. As I said, I didn't get to get this video out yesterday. You may want to exit around $6.49. Like I said, I think we're heading into a very volatile market. SPY, they're propping SPY up. I felt that SPY should fall to 380, 390, and a good exit would be, a safe exit would be 410 to 420. At this point, with an additional Green Day Monday, you know, depending on how all these reports go, SPY may end up hitting 430 before we start seeing some major consolidation. Apple, $151 entry point, exit 165. I think is a safe exit, but I think Apple may very well hit 170, 75 before it plunges. So, you know, ultimately it's your money. You have to make these decisions on where to exit. I can't be there watching it and, you know, hearing these reports and saying, all right, hold on, we need to go ahead and do this now. But, you know, ultimately I'd say 165, 170 would be your safest exit points, and 175 would be, I would be out if you stay in that long. That's just my opinion. But I got some new exit points I'm going to have to put together for UVXY, UVIX, and SQQQ. I thought I had those new exit points listed. And it really depends on how high the market goes up. It depends on these reports. The high ranges on UVXY would be 16. The low entry point would be around $13. On UVIX, the high entry point would be around $20. The low entry point would be around $15.50 to $16. On SQQQ, the high entry point would be $44. The low entry point would be, what was it I had on SQQ? I believe around it was 34 to $36 on SQQQ. Gores Guggenheim, $10.65. Again, they're merging with Polestar in the first half of 2022. Where would I exit Gores Guggenheim? You know, you can look at Lucid as somewhat of a roadmap. You know, I think they'll go to $50 during the merger. That's just my opinion. But I love the cars. I think it's a good company. And so that's one you may want to consider. You know, you look at companies like lucid, and there's a lot of money to be made. But this is just me. I know when to take my profits and short and get back in and ride up. The only people who truly lose, in my opinion, are the greedy people. Just to give you an example, in AMC, people who bought in really high in AMC, and this isn't knocking anyone, we're all doing our best here, but the people who bought in, let's just say they bought in too high, thinking AMC was going to go a lot higher, and they're still holding. Now, I wouldn't say they're losing. You don't lose until you sell. I'm just making a point here. But, then you have the shorts who shorted AMC. And they've lost billions. And there's a greed factor here. The only people who have won in the immediate sense here are those who have worked the call and put options up and down. And they've made a lot of money along the way. And they still have the ability to buy back in here low. Now, with that being said, I commend everyone who has had the patience and fortitude to keep holding, and I'm not against holding at all, because you can play the swings up and down either way. So that's not to knock anyone who's holding. The holding has been tremendous. I'm just simply suggesting that knowing where to buy in and hold, and knowing where to play the swings, that's it. Yesterday when I checked, GameStop had dropped down to 120 and below, where I had said that it would. And as I said, I think GameStop is at a strong risk of dropping back down to $100, and ultimately, I think it will get support from there. But ultimately, I think it has a strong chance in the next month to drop down to $80. If you go back and listen to, you'll see that I'm generally pretty accurate there with my predictions. If anyone who is, well, put it this way, people I coach stay far in the green. The thing is, I can't be here right here on a video to make swift changes. I just have to make the best calls I can at the time. As I said, just to kind of briefly touch the subject, when we got in Indonesia Energy at 15 and sold at 27, and then we did the inverse ETFs, and then DWAC, we got in when it was low, before the news starts saying, Trump's back to Truth Social, time to jump back in. Of course they want you to jump back in once the price is juiced up. And then guess what? It starts consolidating right away, because they want to take your money. That's when they have put options in. You got to jump in before they're telling you to get in. But anyways, we made 200% profit that week alone. That doesn't include options. A lot of people don't do options trading, so I don't always address that. However, Veru, at this point, I want to throw out, I think Veru has a possibility of dropping to $6 in the coming month, so we'll see. But I'm out of Veru for now. I sold again. It's getting too volatile. I just think it's not going anywhere for now, until it's gonna have to drop back down. The market, in my opinion, it's just not time yet. I think they have a lot of potential, but that's my opinion. I didn't really write a price down for CTIC Biopharma. That's one I've suggested. I think they've done pretty well. I think that's one to watch around $4, if you want to consider that one. I know they're up around $5, but I think Kingsoft Cloud is another company with a lot of great potential if you get in for a good price. So I just want to throw that one out there as well, because it recently started consolidating. When I recommended that, it was very, very low, and it just skyrocketed from that point on. So That's another stock you may want to consider. You know, the price targets are insane. That's pretty much all I have. Akian has they have a chat coming up. If you want to check out Akian, you're real interested in Akian, I still think it's a good company if you get in around that $2 range to hold. And I want to address crap. I just drew a blank here. Humanogen. Humanogen, you know, that's why I said get back in around $1.75. I don't know, $1.85. You know, where you jump in is ultimately up to you, but basically all the gains they accumulated dumped off. In this market, even with the $20 to $28 price target, I'd be real careful with that one. You know, if you get in around the, you know, $1.75 to $2 range, I don't think it's a bad hold. I think they have a lot of potential. You know, as for Roblox, a lot of the other companies I was suggesting at these low prices, you know, it's up to you ultimately how long you want to hold. You know, from $30 approximately, a lot of these were good places to get in before they gain some support. Some of them haven't hit the price targets yet. The point is not to get in until they take off really, really heavy, but or at least until they don't sink any have a true risk of sinking further. But you may want to consider exiting Thursday, reassessing and reallocating your funds into inverse ETFs for what's to come, riding those waves up, and then see what you can get back in for. That's totally up to you, how you play this game. But you know, like I said, I think the CPI report is gonna raise some hairs. So that's just something to think about. I had recommended Microsoft at 170. It obviously took off. I don't know. There was so many I recommended and didn't. I you know, I'll never be able to mention everyone I recommended because it's not like I made a list. It's not like I made a told you so list or a brush up list of everything I have covered. A lot of cryptos hit my mark, and you know, I won't go into cryptos on the video because that's a separate topic, except I do want to say that the 8 coin stole a lot of well, not stole, but it's you know, for example, decentralized social went down to a new low, $25. So that's one you might want to consider getting a speculative amount and seeing if you can ride that wave up to about I'm going to say $49, 39 at the least, 49 at the most at this point, but I'm not going to go too much into cryptos in this video. Trying to think if there's any other stocks I've recently covered I need to brush up on, because I had a lot on my mind and that I've covered I wanted to brush over. This video is long enough, so anyways, I'll just go ahead and end it. Y'all have a great day, and I will just see you on the next one if I need to get something else out. Thanks. Peace.